Hello, my name's Andy Rafael from eTeknix.com, and today we're looking at the Zotac GeForce GTX275 896MB graphics card. What comes included with the graphics card is a user's manual, extended warranty and quick installation guide, driver installation CD and case badge sticker, a free copy of the game grid, a SP-DIF cable, VGA to DVI adapter, HDMI to DVI dongle, and two PCI Express to Molex adapters. Now taking a look at the actual graphics card, you can see that Zotac seem to stick with the same style throughout the whole GTX range. If you remember the GTX285 AMP Edition review that we did, the graphics card looked very similar to this one. The only differences are the graphics on there are the same as what's actually on the box, which is some sort of man, and it does state that it's the GeForce GTX 275. Same style throughout, using this plastic casing over the heatsink and a fan at the end with the Zotac logo on saying it's time to play, and once again having the Zotac web address on it. Now taking a look at the underside of the card, we can see that it uses this dark green PCB, and you can see all of the mounting points for where the heatsink is bolted onto the card. Obviously you can take this heatsink off and get an aftermarket cooler, but it will invalidate your warranty. Taking a look at the cooling on the card now, as stated, the GTX range of cards from Zotac do sort of stick with the same style throughout, so it will be the same as the GTX 285. We already spoke about this fan, which is here. On the end of the card we can see that it's got these ventilation ports here. We have a few little ventilation ports here. The bit on the back which will exhaust anything out, and also ventilation here. Taking a look at the full specifications of the card, it has a clock speed of 633 MHz and has a shader clock of 1404 MHz. It uses DirectX 10 and OpenGL 3.0 technology and has 240 stream processors. It comes supplied with 896 MB of GDDR3 operating at a speed of 2268 MHz. It uses a 448-bit interface and has a maximum resolution of 2560 by 1600. The bus type on this card is of course PCI Express. Taking a look at the top of the graphics card, we can see exactly where the two 6-pin PCI Express power adapters would go, and if need be where the HDMI SP-DIF cable would go. Also on the top of the card we can see where this cover is with Zotac branded on there, and if we take that off it will expose exactly where you can connect this card for SLI and Tri-SLI. Taking a look at the back of the card on the PCI plate, we can see that it takes up two slots in your case, and one is for exhausting out any heat and the other one is for your connections. Taking a look at the various connections on the graphics card now, we can see that it has two DVI ports and a video output. This supports S-Video, composite out and HDTV. Some of the other features that this particular graphics card has is the fact that it supports Nvidia's latest HD Pure Video technology, so it will play all of the latest high definition content. It also has Zotac Firestorm, which means if you are an avid enthusiast, you can actually unlock this graphics card and overclock the various different core clock speeds and memory clock speeds. Now looking at the part of the review where we look at price, having a quick scout around from some of the trusted retailers that we know on the internet, the cheapest price that I was able to find was £174.99, and that was from play.com. Overall, the GTX 275 is a good card, but for the money, I personally think there is a lot more better cards out there. ATI have just brought out their 57 and 5800 series cards, which do give a lot more bang for buck. Overall though, 896 MB worth of memory comes included on this card. For around the same sort of price, you could go for the AMP edition, or you could actually get the 1700 MB version of this card, or you could even upgrade to the 285. So it's a bit hit and miss, but with everything these days you could always spend a little bit more to get something slightly better, so it's entirely up to you. Overall though, I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 stars.